Hi guys, in this video we're going to work on 7-4, write an equation, which is on page 366, 367. So in this section we're going to practice how to write an equation and how to solve it. Alright, so please look at the example 1. A moving van rents for $29.95 a day plus 12 cents per mile. Mrs. Smith bill for a 2-day rental was $70.46. How many miles did she drive? So when you understand this given problem, it will be easier to follow up the 4 questions in here. So first, what is the goal of this problem? So what we are looking for right now. So I am looking for to find how many miles Mrs. Smith drove, right? So, when you are working with your word problem, first, you should think about the goal, which is a part of understanding the problem, right? So, basically we have to understand the problem, and then we are going to set the plan, and then what? We are going to carry out our plans, and then we need to check our answer. So this is the first step. So, my first answer would be to find how many miles Mrs. Smith drove. Now, still I'm on understanding the problem section. So number 2, for how long did Miss Smith rent the van? We already found that out in the question, right? How many days? 2 days. So 2 days. That's the answer for number 2. Now on number 3, what does the van cost without mileage? Which means how much you have to pay for money for basically per day, which is $29.95. But additionally, she needs to pay per how much? 12 cents per mile. So number 4, what is the mileage charge? 12 cents per mile. That's what, you are going to use it. So now let's move on to the make a plan. What's going to be my plan now? So, you should think about the 2 days cost, which is per price per day. So 2 days times price per day and then you have to add what? Add a cost per mile and then times number of miles. It should be same as what? Total costs, which is a $70.46, which is our total costs. That's how we plan the question, which is that is gonna be basically how we can think about to write an equation down. So for here, which one I don't know of. You have to replace the thing that you don't know and you are looking for as a letter. So I know that how many days? 2 days. Price per day, I already know it. Right? How much is it? Price $29.95. That's the price per day. Now cost per mile, I know that, which is 12 cents. Now number of miles, I don't know what it is, so I'm going to replace as a number of miles as a letter M. That's what we're looking for right now. So based on what we just write it down, I could write down the equation like this: 2 times $29.95 plus 12 cents times number of miles she drove. That should be same as $70.46. correct? So now my plan is to carry out this plan, which is to solve the equation. So how can we solve this equation, guys? First, you have to multiply $29.95 times 2, which is, you can just add them up twice, right? So I just add them up. Then you got 10, 19, 18, 19, and 5. So you will get $59.90. So let me erase this. And then right down here, $59.90 plus 0.12m would be same as $70.46. Your answer on your book, they get rid of 0 because they take off the dollar sign, but it doesn't really, you don't really have to erase the 0 at this time because we already knew it that is the money. So after that you can if you want to, you can get rid of it, but it's not really necessary to do, so it's totally up to you. So now I'm going to just keep my 0 at the end, and I'm going to take $59.90 from there, and I have 12 cents, which is 0.12 times m, equals borrow. Oh, oops, we don't need it. So for here, I need to borrow from the 0. So 6 minus 0 will be 0, will be 6. And then, 4 minus 9, I couldn't do it, so borrow from here. That's 10, 9, 14. So 5, decimal point, 0, 10. So I know that that's going to be 10.56. Now what? Divided by 0.12. So 10.56 divided by 0.12, which is a division with decimal. So in this time, we need to move our decimal point to the right, which is make your quotient into just integer. Now what? Once you move your decimal point to the right on your dividend as well, then you could have 1056 divided by 12. So 12 cannot go into 1, cannot go into 10, but 12 can go into 105. How many times? 8 times. So 2 times 8, 16 and 96, and you're going to complete the subtraction, which is, it will be 9, bring 6 down. Oh, I have exactly same number here, 96, which is 8 times. So my answer M would be 88. So how do I interpret this question? Mrs. Smith drove the van how many miles? 88 miles. Now check the answer. So now you are going to check the answer so that you make sure that your answer is reasonable and correct. So you can estimate to check the reasonableness of the answer. So $29.95 would be $30, right? You just round up. And now 12 cents could be round up to just 10 cents. So they put just 0.1. And 88 would be approximately 90, right? So you just plug in the number to just check on it that your answer is, close enough, which means 2 times 30 plus 0.1 times 90, and you should get a 60 plus 9, which is a 69. If this number is close to the $70.46, then you can make sure that your answer is pretty reasonable. So look, $69 is pretty much close enough to 70.46, which is a 70. So yes, you can say that 88 mile is a reasonable answer. All right. Okay, I want you guys pause this video to work on Quick Check 5 by yourself. And please resume the video once you're done so that you can check your answer. Alright? Alright, so Quick Check 5 on page 367. Okay, A. Suppose that Miss Smith's bill for 2-day rental was $76.34. How would the equation change? Explain. So every condition is the same, except the hour for her total price. So you can just keep it all the same, which is $2, 2 times $29.95 plus 12 cents per day, per mile, but her total price got changed, which is $76.34. So that makes the equation a little bit changed, but it's only the total part, which is the right side of the equation. That's it. Now what? They ask you to solve the equation to find how many miles Miss Smith drove the van. So I'm going to calculate this 59.9 and 0.12 m equal 76.34. Now I subtract 59.9 each side. And I got 4, it turned into 5, it turned into 6, 1. So 16.4, 0.44. And then now I have to divide it by that with 0.12. So 0.12 m equals 16.44. Now I need to divide move your decimal point. And how many 12s can go into 16? 1 time. And that's 59.9 and 76.34. Oh, oops. Here, 6 minus 2 is 4. It's 44. And then now, it will be 336, which is, I have a remainder 8, 4, which is 7 times. Alright, so my M would be 137. So how to interpret this question? So, Miss Smith drove the van 137 miles, right? So C, estimate to check the reasonableness of your answer, part B. So I'm going to round up all the informations which I know. So I can round 29.95 into 30 as I did already. And 0.12 round to 0.1. And 137 is going to be round up to 140 this time. Now what? Plug into the question. 2 times 30. 0.1 times 140. So, compared to your example, we changed our answer. So 88, that was round to the 90. Now, instead of 90, I plug in 140. Now we need to calculate. So it will be 60 plus 14, which is 74. So you have to, make sure that 74 is close enough to $76.34. Does it make sense? Yeah. So 137 mile is a reasonable answer. All right, now B. Mr. Jones rented the same van for 3 days. Now, it changed a little bit now. His bill was $104.49, so which means we have to set up the, new plan. So let's go back to understanding the problem. So what is the goal of this problem? We have to find out how many miles Mr. Jones drove. Now, number 2, for how long did Mr. Jones rent a van? 3 days. That's a different information. Everything else is the same. So I have to modify my equation a little bit. So before I had 2 times 29.95 plus 0.12 m equals 70.46. That was my original equation, right? Now I have 3 days. So instead of 2, you should put 3 here. Now what is changed after that? And his total bill got changed. Instead of $70.46, I would have 104.49. Since the other information did not change, so you can keep it as a 29.95 here. You keep it as a 0.12. Okay, now you should calculate 29.95 times 3, which is 15, 27, 28, decimal point, 27, 29, 68. So you got 89.85 plus 0.12 m equals 104.49. That is a part of my work. Okay. Now I'm going to take 89.85 each side, and you have a 0.12 m equals, there will be 4, you need to borrow, there will be 6 decimal points, you need to borrow, which is 1. So 14.64, that's what I have. Now what? You are going to divide it by 0.12 each side. Okay, so 14.64 divided by 0.12, as we did already, move a decimal point. 12 can go into 14 one time, and I got 26. Now 12 can go into 26 two times. It will be 24. Now I have a 24 here, so you can use 2 again, which is 24 exactly. So my answer would be 122. What does that mean? Mr. Jones drove 122 miles. How can we check it? So we are going to check. First, we are going to round up $29.95 into 30, right? And then 0.12, round up to the 0.10, which is 0.1. And then you plug into the equation. Now we don't use 2, we use 3 instead. 3 times 30 plus 0.1 times 122. If you do that, that will be 90 plus 12.2, which is around 102.2. Is that number close enough to 104.49? That was his bill. Yes, it is. So I can make sure that our answer, 122 mile, is reasonable. Okay, I hope this video helped you to understand. And we are going to see the next video. Bye.